Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Capril. There's that old expression as one door closes, another one opens, or sometimes there's unintended consequences to things, or sometimes bad news can beget good news. Well, I want to share with you something that I just came across this morning that makes this point or proves this point. So, you no doubt have heard about some bank failures. You got Silicon Valley Bank and you got Signature Bank that, are both going under. So, if the depositors have their money in insured accounts, they're going to get their money. They just may not get it right away. All right. So then naturally, everyone's thinking, oh my goodness, is this the end of the banking industry? And I seriously doubt that it is. What's even more interesting is how competing banks have seen this as an opportunity to get more depositors. So, for example, Ally Bank, which is one of the banks that I use, just recently increased its 11-month no penalty CD from 4.75 from 4% to 4.75. So they just increased it 3/4 of a point this past week. Why? Well, because like other institutions, they're seeing this as an opportunity to attract savers. What hurts banks is when depositors decide to pull all their money out because again, that money ain't sitting in the vault. So what banks have to do is to entice people to keep their money there. Axos Bank did the same thing. They just hiked its rates on its money market and savings accounts to over 5%. And then you've got Synchrony Bank, Discover, Charles Schwab. They're all coming out with higher rates on their CD offerings. This is smart. They know they have good financial stability. They also know that there's people are rethinking where they're putting their money. And so if you have the ability to offer a greater incentive to investors or to savers, people are more likely to move the money over to them. This is another reason why what happened with those banks in California doesn't particularly worry me. There's a lot of banks out there. This is what happens when one company fails, its competitors step in. So, for example, if you have a restaurant and the restaurant across the street fails, you now have the opportunity to attract their customers. Same with the car business, same with banking. Now, banking is the ultimate commodity product because everyone's money's green. So the only way you can really make a difference is to offer to pay more to depositors. And that's exactly what's going on. Now, I'm not necessarily endorsing any of these banks, all right? You should know that if you work with an internet bank like Ally, they don't have branches. And as a result, they tend to be able to pay a little bit more. But I'm not necessarily trying to endorse one bank over the other. There's some disadvantages to having a bank that has no branches. You can't go in there and talk to anybody. You got to do it all online. But again, what I want to emphasize to you here is this is just another classic example where we see the news in one perspective and we don't realize that other things can happen in a ripple effect that can be a real benefit. So when you're looking at your cash holdings, especially if you're holding excessive cash holdings, you definitely want to get paid as much as possible. If you're not sure what to do, please reach out to me. We'll talk. We'll get a feel if you're having too much cash on hand. And if you do, then where's the best place to put it to make sure you're maximizing your returns? All right. Have a great day.